Some of you were at services last night, April 29th, at our Shabbat service. We welcomed Nefesh Mountain. I have to tell you, though, that you had a chance to enjoy your company and the great food before the service, but also hearing Nefesh Mountain lead our service. I had the personal fun of doing the sound check with them, getting to know. I mean, that's when musicians sit down. It's getting up and playing is really the reward, but the connection that musicians make is when others are not watching them. Right. And we just have opportunities to sit down and introduce each other musically and conversationally get to know. So it has been really a rather intense introduction and relationship that we are making with them. But one relationship I understand from many in last night's service that wants to be continued in the future. So we do our best. But in order to do that, we sponsor these lunch and learns, especially when we have resident artists, in part to hear a little bit of the music in a casual setting, but more to get to know the musicians themselves as people. A lot of times the music that artists bring to our community is transactional. They'll come, they'll play their music, they'll be in the style in which their CDs, the recordings are made, and a new CD was just put out. It's brand new. So are they available online?
You can pre-order them on iTunes in a month, May 20th.
May 20th, so it's so new, and that you'll be able to get this. And a lot of times, people want the groups to come in and play the music exactly as they hear them on the CDs. Well, their CD formally has not been released, so you're hearing all of their music in its freshest form, which is fantastic. But again, these lunch and learns are really to get to know the artists, know what inspires them, their relationship with their art, but also their relationship with one another as well, and what brought them on their journey that brought them together at this place and at this time. We also have a concert that's open to the community tomorrow as well, Sunday, May 1st. It's at 11:30. The weather should be nice. We will be outdoors.
Yay!
So come around at 11:30. We'll have an hour-long concert, and we'll be having ourselves the best time. And really, that concert not only will feature the music, but also consummate a relationship that I hope will last for years and years and years to come with Nefesh Mountain. So let's welcome Nefesh Mountain. Do you guys want to play something?
We're going to play something.
You are? Oh, gosh, okay.
Hold on. We're going to begin this workshop with our morning prayer. Even though it's not exactly morning, we're going to start this day right now and sort of have a moment of thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to you, Cantor, and to Synagogue, and to all of our lives, everything we've got. So this is our big thank you. Oh,
You look like Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
I got 10 fingers.
What's your last
thank
name?
you. Eric Lindbergh. Eric Garcia.
No.
I take it as a compliment because I get it a lot, but he's such a beloved presence and such a nice hippie dude. This is my wife, Donnie Zaslav. Gary Oliar on fiddle, and Tim Kaya on bass.
It's so great to hear bluegrass music when it's when it's unplugged. So you have the opportunity to hear, and you notice everybody got together. They started really meshing the sound. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to blend the American tradition of bluegrass with the ancient traditions of Judaism?
A lot of people want to know how that happened, and my answer is we didn't plan it. It was completely and honestly an accidental combination for us. Eric and I, we both happen to love bluegrass, and we are spiritually Jews. Judaism is in our souls, and we started writing prayers together, and just naturally we kept writing bluegrass songs. It was like a bluegrass, an Irish-inspired Hine Matov, and then a bluegrass milchama. It just happened. It was just what came out of our hearts, honestly. And we realized after doing it that we were doing it. It was actually ahead of us, if that makes any sense. We had to catch up with what we were doing, and then we realized, we have to call this something. We're doing something. It really took over us, I would say. If that makes sense.
So you've essentially created really a genre. It's interesting. Your relationship and the music, your relationship with the music has sort of grown and is continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
Wow. So when did you all get started with that? Which basically then says, when did your relationship begin?
It's all one and the same, yeah. And you're watching it happen as we are. We don't know, what's going to happen to the music and all this stuff. It's all very new. But yeah, we met in 2010, and we were playing music together. And over time, when we first met, she was married. I was in a relationship.
All right, we're doing TMI, but that's okay. Live streaming all over the internet. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This is reality.
That was a joke.
Chamomile decaf. We're good.
Which decaf?
Sorry, it's chamomile. What do you expect?
Oh, he's going to fall asleep.
Would you like some?
No, I'm good. So, no, we fell in love. We wound up. She ended her relationship. I ended mine, and then a couple years later, we realized we were still writing music with each other. And at that point, we had just started to write. We were getting gigs to perform Shabbat services, so we were starting to write the Shema and Hine Matov and Micha Mocha were the first. Among Lachadodi, we were writing, just kind of delving into that world. And what came out, just me being a huge bluegrass nut and fan, and her being a huge fan of bluegrass music, was that sound. So it was really like, it wasn't like we set out to combine them. It just was, hey, that's what we're hearing.
But it was a love story too. I mean, we fell in love as we were writing this music. So, and then we just got married in June. So it really truly is like a love affair. The love
Wait, your first
Nefesh Mountain is our
anniversary
baby.
is this June?
This June.
This June.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! And you're fresh. The music's fresh. It's whoa.
Yeah. So we really did. We fell in love with each other and the music, and it just kind of became who we are. And we love it.
It's amazing.
Can I ask, sure, musically, where were you, each of you, before you came together in this grouping? What were you doing?
Lots of different stuff. We were performing also kids' music.
Right.
With Mamadani.
Right.
And I came from a jazz background, a lot of rock and roll. It's actually interesting. I mean, Gary plays a million gigs, so does Tim. So we've all, to be a musician, you kind of have to take, take the gigs.
I know where to speak. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, for me, I had kind of neglected my Jewish side for a lot of college, and from there on into my 20s and all that. And the only reason why I can do this today, boldly, and because I think it takes a certain amount of like boldness to do this kind of stuff sometimes for people, is because of her. Because and it's pretty profound that she doesn't have that boundary of where she's so proud to be Jewish, and you can just take that and just go out into the world and say, this is me, you know. And I think I was suffering from what I think a lot of people suffer from, that kind of, you know, maybe there was a certain era where people that were Jewish in this country just didn't talk about it much at all. And I think that got passed down to me. It's not that we didn't talk about it, it wasn't hush-hush, but it was just, you know, I left all of that at the synagogue. And so I was like, I'm going to be a jazz musician, I'm going to play rock, I'm going to play big venues and do all that thing. And not do any of it with my true person and my true kind of spirituality. And you're the only reason why I have the courage to do those things. I think most people wouldn't want to, you know, like, you know, we did this broadcast, which I'm really proud of last week, called Wood Songs. And it aired in Lexington, Kentucky. And it's not a Jewish publication, but it felt good to kind of be like representing our faith and our spirituality in just the world, and not, you know, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It's amazing. Wow. Yeah, it's just wow to see this happen. So Donnie, you sang before you met Eric.
I started the Mama Donnie, which doing kids and family music, a year or two before Eric joined that group. But I've always felt, you know, if I'm going to sing anything, for me, it's kind of has to be Jewish. Like, I don't know. I just feel very connected musically, soulfully to my Jewish soul. I'm a Jewish cowgirl since I was a little girl. I just have been. I've been on like a really big spiritual mission in my life, and I've struggled like everybody else. But I've always just been seeking and yearning, and I rapped to fill it when I was like in 4th grade. I was like a rebel, Jewish rebel thing. I don't know. You know, and I went when I lived in Israel. I volunteered in the army in Israel, and I was like this rebel with the women of the wall. I just needed to feel like a strong Jewish cowgirl person in this world. And so for me, you know, joining with Eric and his incredible bluegrass, I mean, he's just, to me, he's just an absolute, it's not just because he's my husband, but he's a genius musically. He composes all of the music that you guys hear, and to take this Jewish passion and my cowgirl soul and match it with his was like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I feel so blessed. Really.
So do we.
I just feel so blessed.
Really, so do
and
we.
then to find, you know, to have these incredible musicians that have joined us, you know, Gary just blows our mind, you know, amazing. Tim is recently new in this group, and he is just, we have the best. In my opinion, these two are the best that we could have. So it's like dreamy.
Now, Gary, did you play any Jewish music or any kind of a Jewish theme? Because even though this is bluegrass, it still has to fit into a linguistic, you know, to certain linguistic parameters, and your cues aren't necessarily coming from the words, unless you understand the words.
Yeah,
So,
it's mostly practice. And I gotta get in the shed and learn the parts and do it the old-fashioned way.
He plays in all 12 keys, and then he sits in front of a mirror and goes, Kol Han Shama.
My favorite, and this wasn't a Gary story, but tell the famous.
Man, I don't know if I should.
This is speaking of how.
you're among friends.
Come on.
Yeah. So the album that we recorded, which is now available, and we're so proud to have it out finally. So we recorded it in Nashville, and a lot of my real bluegrass heroes who are not Jewish, who joined us on the album and believed in us enough to go there. And Donnie was kind of like the rabbi, and first of all, the vocal booth was already a little higher anyway. So she had this kind of like, she's up there with her like long sleeves and flowing, very mystical vocal booth it turned into. The guys kept, hey Donnie, so what does Hino Matov mean? She's like, well.
No, but it was wonderful that they were so interested and they wanted to understand, and they all were in love with, because these are universal themes. Hine Matov is, obviously we know, it's about being together with your family and your friends. Like, it's a friendship song. So there's so much universal, connection for everything. So go ahead.
Oh, but so the banjo player, who's like one of the best underrated, maybe not underrated, but people may not have heard of him. His name is Scott Vestal, and he's a huge, great banjo player out of Nashville. But he the guy's not Jewish. He's not going to know how to pronounce these words. So he comes and he's like, Eric, man, I got to tell you, that Micha Bocha tune? And I was like, and he just
I think he thought it was a Mochaccino song.
super like high end, like the highest banjo player, super smart
He loved
guy.
it too.
He's just not gonna.
He loved it.
He loved it.
Absolutely loved it. So sorry to interrupt. But go ahead. The Hebrew. That's
Well,
really
how long have you been playing with Eric?
This has been going on a couple of years.
Okay.
I'm actually still pretty new to the act.
About a year.
A year and some change ago.
Uh-huh.
And I just said, I got to get me some of this. So I've been on as soon as I heard the music, and Eric and I reconnected after having played in some old jam bands when he was a kid and I wasn't gray. He just called a couple of years ago, actually, going 2, maybe 3 years ago. He was working on a solo project, and it's kind of odd after having played some of his original, headier instrumental stuff. He said, "Hey, would you want to do a couple gigs with me and my girlfriend?" And I went, "Well, how bad can she be?" And then I heard this song, there was stuff, and I went, "Okay, it's not bad at all."
So you got it.
Oh yeah, I just hooked right up.
Wow. Well, the newest member is bassist Tim, and so Tim, how did you? Now you have to understand that before the service, Tim was in my office. Donnie and Eric were here in the chapel with the Early Childhood Center kids, and Tim was with me, and he wanted to woodshed a couple of the pieces for the service that night. So he came into my office, and I took out an instrument. He took out one of my guitars and sort of played the top 4 strings, bass, and he was playing a little bit, and just setting some of the keys and some of the transitions, etc., bridges and stuff, to wrap his brains around the service. One thing that was really impressive to me was his professional drive to be able to represent the music as authentically as he can and to learn as much as he can. And in fact, this morning he sat in and observed our service, our morning service as well, just to be able to get it. But we had a great time, and eventually we dragged Eric in, and we just had this little modified little jam session right there. It was just really, it was one of the magic moments actually, and something that I like pray for that comes by every leap year, as it were, which is great. It was just a great experience. But you came on board when?
Well, I guess it was about the fall that I met Eric and Donnie. We have a mutual friend.
Shama Karlbach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
And that's how we got to know each other. And I actually recorded the children's album with the Shama. And yeah, I gotta say, since we've been playing together, I guess before you really get to know somebody musically, usually a lot of times people meet through recommendations of other people, and you never know what you're gonna get. So I am just like extremely grateful to have met Eric and Gary. And it's interesting because as a musician, sometimes it's easy to connect with somebody on a musical level, but on a personal and social level spiritual level. That's not always easy, but to be able to combine the two, because there are a lot of musicians who are very eccentric and maybe.
No, really?
That's,
You are new.
You've heard of the drummer Buddy Rich.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yes.
So he used to, chew out his band members, and
Oh, yeah.
that doesn't happen here in this situation. I'm just so grateful for that. And I guess as a musician, a lot of the socializing and a lot of the friendship happens. We travel a lot, we play a lot of gigs, so a lot of times the people you play with are your friends.
Right.
And I feel like I've met a group of really good friends.
Well, Steve.
Verklempt up here.
I wanted to ask if you, two things. First of all, an observation from last night that I heard. Sometimes it sounded like there was almost a, and not that I'm a maven on this, but Native American kind of underlying beat to some of the stuff you played. Anyway, that's what hit my ear. And the other thing I was, totally different thing, is you could give us a little background on what if you had any formal musical education that brought you.
Yeah, well, I studied jazz guitar in college.
Where was it?
It was at Mason Gross at Rutgers, where I went because there was one guitar teacher that I wanted to study with out of high school. He was teaching there, as well as some schools in the city, named Vic Juris. So I just followed him to Rutgers. But yeah, studied jazz. We all played a lot of jazz. That seems to be a good for any kind of improvised music.
Right.
It's nice to be able to really have that as a foundation.
The gymnasium.
The what?
The gymnasium.
Yeah. But the Native American thing is interesting because it's not. That's definitely not an intentional vibe, but there's a lot of old time, kind of early forms of American music that get very modal, and there's almost a trance-like, quality to it. So you may have kind of heard an undertone of rhythms or beats there. With that. I don't know if that answers the question, but
It did.
yeah.
Except that I have
Yeah.
your numbers.
I studied theater, and I went to a lot. I grew up very Jewy, Jewish day schools and the whole deal. And then I studied theater at NYU, so I was always into singing and theater, and I also was a writer. So I wrote children's stories and songs, and my background's in kind of children's theater and theater.
Oh yeah, my background.
Submit your CV.
I was really into Sesame Street and the Muppets when I was little, so I used to sing along with that a lot. And then when I got to high school, I started, like Eric, I started playing jazz. And it wasn't until I moved to New York, oddly enough, that I started playing bluegrass and singing. And you'd be surprised, there is quite a bluegrass scene in New York.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I met a lot of bluegrass musicians, and playing in high school and in college, I never really sang and played at the same time. And I think something special about the voice, and to be able to connect with people, with lyrics and meanings, and I think I'm really glad to have, I was always skeptical of the idiom of or the genre of bluegrass, because there's a joke actually that somebody was telling us in Kentucky about what is the bass player? How do you get?
How many bass players?
Does it get does it take to change a light bulb?
Okay.
And the answer is 1, no 5, No, what? And that's really painful for me because it's like a stereotype that, you know, playing bluegrass bass is simple, but it's not.
But Tim, you have a classical training as well?
Yeah, actually, I went to the Eastman School of Music, and I was a jazzer there, but I was able to connect on a classical level by playing in the orchestra. And it's some of the best classical musicians anywhere. And I actually compose classical music for, I do orchestral stuff and arranging. So classical is very important to me as well.
Gary?
I paid an old man to yell at me for about 5 years.
Well, there it is.
I went to the University of Massachusetts, and there was a very good music program there, and I wasn't good enough to get into it. You know, because I started late. I took my first violin lesson 2 weeks before my 20th birthday. So I was an old guy, comparatively speaking, by the time I even got one. And my teacher never even used to refer to me by my name. He used to call me Jigs and Reels. You know, because they were all grooming classical players to, like, you know, go off and have a career in whatever variety of legit music, and I wasn't anywhere near that. And he just didn't like it. He just didn't like me.
But tell who you were.
Yeah, I guess in 1993, I was living in Nashville and went to a cattle call audition for a fellow named Jim Messina. Loggins and Messina.
Yeah.
And out of 75 guys, I got the gig.
Nice.
So it was in Nashville, 75 Nashville guys was quite a feather in the bonnet.
Yeah.
And it's just been, you know.
Touring with them for 25 years.
Well, with Jimmy for 20 plus years.
That's who he plays with also. No, really.
We call this among the people yichus. Yeah, we got a violinist with yichus.
So you went from that?
Explain.
Exactly.
Later.
Okay.
He's got pedigree. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Eric's got his guitar. Are you just want to keep your hands busy, or are you?
Yeah, I needed something to do.
Develop something.
No, we'll play another one.
Oh, great.
Is that
Want to hear
okay?
another song?
Yes.
I'm gonna introduce this.
Yeah. It's called Rivers. That's my intro. You know what? Let's get a little, just vocally.
Yeah, you can.
Stand up just in the front a little bit, and I want to be able to face.
Over here?
No, just because.
What's going on?
Let's not stand in a row. Let's get you just a little bit out in front,
Okay.
and then maybe Gary on that side,
Yes.
and then Tim right behind her.
Cool.
And
I'm going to
just on
introduce
that
this
side.
song a little bit. It's called
Stay
River
here.
Song, and it's
Yeah.
it'll be obvious what it's about, but I don't know if anyone here has ever had like a spiritual or soulful experience with water. We'll sing the song and we'll talk after. Long ago was a riverbed running through the gate when Adonai said, "Don't touch the
tied to stomping their feet on a levee. Tied to police, pulled up the mast. Tied to police, and they're moving fast. River song, river song, river song. Child safely in the basket running down the Nile. Tied to police, pull up the mast. Tied to police, and they're moving fast. River song, river song, river song, river song.
So what's cool about River Song, I think, there's one of the interesting parts of River Song is that it's Old Testament, obviously, and that's something that everybody understands and connects to, really. So it was it's been interesting to share that amongst the Jewish community and then sort of put it out into the universe. It's really something that we all know those stories. We all feel that force of life, and the river and the water. Every one of us, whatever our background, has some passionate, some spiritual experience, I think, with water. I do feel that most people have had some moment in their life where they felt that. So, I don't know. River Song. Eric wrote River Song, but just he wrote the lyrics.
I heard it explained that he managed to shoehorn Genesis and Exodus as the 4 minutes.
Some rabbinical degree for that.
Standing on one foot is a word.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also, who was a bluegrass fan already? Because when people hear bluegrass, even forget Jewish, just bluegrass, if they're not aware of all of the amazing bluegrass that's out there, they kind of think, and they're right about this too, Flat and Scruggs, Beverly Hillbillies, Deliverance, dueling banjos, like the kind of which is great stuff, and like it hit at a certain time period, and the banjo kind of got famous again in the 50s through the Beverly Hillbillies, and Earl Scruggs obviously exploded the whole thing. And Steve Martin now is like really a pioneer for the whole bluegrass scene. that song is an example of, it is an example of a way to compose in this bluegrass genre, but it's a lot more, it's very folky, it's not so different than, some of the harmonies that we would use in like a Debbie Friedman song, just put in the right places, and then with that kind of groove is bluegrass too. It's kind of, people call it all kinds of things. Really, it's just bluegrass, but you can call it new grass. Sometimes we do a lot of bow work, try to really orchestrate what we have, and it's kind of more of a chamber grass kind of thing. so it can get to a highbrow kind of level of that stuff. Old time too, yeah. Sorry.
What jumped out at me, the movie Brother Where Art Thou, the music from that movie,
Very much.
I think really brought that bluegrass out to many people who really didn't connect with it or wasn't familiar with it, and I just love the score to that movie.
Great film.
Yeah. Especially when you're talking about fitting it to an old
Speaking
text.
of
I mean,
which-
you have the Odyssey, in bluegrass. There's Bible.
You're exactly right. I don't know if you know how right you are.
We're gonna
but
say something right now.
That's a huge that totally provide anyway, but then they just exploded. Yeah.
We're gonna do our version of a song that became popular actually during that movie, but a lot of the songs don't feel completely comfortable for us to sing the way they are, so we tweak them a little and make them a little Jewish. So this is our Jewish version of a song from O Brother Where Art Thou.
Good.
We're gonna do it right now. Just a little part of it.
We just do it just like a ballad. We're not going to go into anything yet.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall follow Miriam's path? Oh Lord, show me the way. Oh sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh sisters, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall follow Moses' path? Oh Lord, show me the way. Oh brothers, let's go down, come on down. Oh brothers, let's go down in the river to pray.
That soundtrack was one of my big influences. But there's a lot of Jews playing bluegrass. But as a Jew to stand there and go, one bright morning when this life is over, I'll fly away in the morning. It's just not right. That's not part of our belief system. It's a beautiful song and a part of our American history and heritage. So part of what I know, what all of us really want to do with this is to feel so profoundly American, which is what we are, and to be able to respond to melodies like that, old time music, and also sing about being Jewish. That's kind of the whole bag right there.
That's really
The idea. Yeah.
But your music doesn't. It has a very inclusive.
Right.
Well, I think-
street.
I would say that one of the gifts or the honor that I think we have, or I feel I have here doing this project, life project, is to be able to share Jewish culture and spirituality with the world in a way that is so loving and respectful, and also just to share how beautiful it is being Jewish and our, where we come from, with the greater world through bluegrass, and then alternatively sharing this magical sound of bluegrass to the Jewish world. It feels like an incredible honor. So we have to respect that too. We have to kind of honor and respect both traditions. And I feel like a lot of times when we go to Jewish communities, not a lot of people know about bluegrass.
right.
But we get to share that, and then I feel, and then we go to a bluegrass community, and not a lot of people have heard Hina Matov, but we get to share that. So it's sort of this incredible, we get to be sort of like a conduit of these beautiful things.
But that's, it's really one of the constants of Jewish music fact that we've always borrowed from the surrounding culture. And we've always put our own spin on it.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you
That's
know.
the brilliance of all the songs that we know,
Yeah.
all the Debbie Friedman and Jeff Klepper.
we
It
went
was all
backwards a little
taking
bit.
that 1960s.
Right, because music itself has no doctrine.
Exactly.
It's the words, you know, or a title you might ascribe to something. But we can always take what's good about music, which is universal, and put our own imprint
Yeah.
on it. And that's, I mean, so much traditional Jewish music was borrowed out of other.
Yeah.
What is, what
Did you
is,
sing on Shabbat for him then, based on
Oh, we haven't done, that was for our kids.
Talk about Martha.
Oh, okay, well, oh, he has.
no, I was gonna say, what's really beautiful right now is that, the purity, I mean, how pure the music is, the style, the genre is, and totally unplugged. And I have to tell you, to hear all of your instruments, not just manual, but vocal instruments, putting it all together in this place with absolutely no other enhancement other than your souls. This is, I think, a magical moment right now.
Oh.
It really is. I mean,
It's
this
the way
is
it's meant
just
to be.
Right.
It's exactly it. This is what it's meant to be, very pure and just very straightforward. So this is an amazing moment right now. Amazing moment. Yeah. Let's not sing that, but what you're ready to sing, let's hear it.
Eric wrote me this song. Part of why I love him, because I feel when you meet somebody who celebrates who you are, you're very blessed. And this song is all about being yourself no matter what. So whether it's wearing cowboy boots with sparkles or not, wearing red shoelaces or whatever you are to be you, that's what we got to do. That's really the goal. So everyone please rise, stand up. And clap with us, that's it. Oh, wait, don't clap yet. Hold on. I'll cue you to clap. Been all around this world, baby, I've been all around
time is going amazingly fast, but I have one question for you. Where do you go from here? You've got the concert tomorrow day at 11:30 outside, and then you guys are going to be taking off to your homes, obviously. Where's your next stop?
We are not getting on a plane for a good 2 weeks, which is a long time for us these days. And then we're doing some local shows, and then the end of May, we're going to Boise, Idaho, to do a music series concert at this Sapphire Room in some part of some music series, and then we're going to spend the weekend with a synagogue, a retreat in Boise, Idaho, and then we're just booked all summer doing camps and concerts and really doing a lot of things.
Have you done any overseas gigs at all?
Last 2 winters ago, we did the Lee Mood UK. We were invited out to London to do that. We had a big, this was before we were really doing the whole band thing. It was just Donnie and I in front of this whole like it was a sold out room. We didn't know what to expect. It was really cool. So,
Wow.
Yeah, we've done that.
And then next year we're going to be in Israel. We're going to be doing the Jacob's Ladder Festival,
Oh.
Bluegrass Festival in Israel.
When is it?
It's next May, a year from May. And then anything else that comes our way.
Any other questions? What time is it? Are we?
We have just about 5 minutes. I mean, the time has gone by crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It doesn't have to be so formal, you know.
Thank you
Kinda
everybody
silly.
so much though for
Yeah.
having us here.
I haven't heard bluegrass this good since I lived in Asheville.
Oh, wow.
These
I
guys
have to
are
say, your
top.
community is so warm and loving, and this cantor is like, you're our new best friend, and the rabbi, you guys, Corey, thank you so much for your love.
Well, one of the
Just
things about our
loving.
cantor
It's
is
so
he
special.
brought to our synagogue, he brought Moroccan music, he brought all kinds of different music to our services, which I really appreciate. So we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to play one with us, or where's your guitar?
Back in my office where my tea is located.
Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah.
So far
Play
away.
tomorrow.
We could put tomorrow.
Why don't you get,
We'll be playing
play
tomorrow.
Hina Matov with us?
Yeah.
We could do
No?
that.
Yeah?
So do you want to play? You want to play your banjo? I'll play your.
Not on that tune.
Let's do it.
No, that too. You want me to play the banjo on the?
Osir Shalom. That's interesting.
You never know.
Can you get your guitar?
It is a Jewish.
Go for it. You're a
Topic. Keep
All right, somebody ask
When
a
he
question.
comes back, do you have time to play that Mojani Hallelujah that you did this morning?
We did it.
You did it? Okay,
Yeah.
so we heard it. I wanted him to hear it.
Well, but what was the other one we did for children this morning? The Shabbat?
Oh, on
So
Shabbat.
on
Yeah, on
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
We had a fun kitty moment this morning. You can sing that one with us if you want, Rafa.
My sister should be coming around and I
Oh, neat.
My
Okay.
granddaughter loves that. I was really do that.
Does anybody else have any questions?
She marches to that.
So raise your hand. Wait, who was into bluegrass before? So you guys, and now who's into bluegrass now?
I love all types of music,
Yeah.
so I don't have a specific. Good music is good music.
Yeah. That's great.
But something for me that was really new with this group is seeing how Eric and Donnie and Gary were interacting with children.
Yeah.
That was really special.
I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
When you were in Rochester,
Yeah.
did you ever eat a garbage plate at Tahoe's?
Oh, yeah.
My dad's family's from Rochester. I
Garbage
know it well.
plate is
Yeah.
an interesting
Yeah.
concoction. It's pretty much garbage.
It's everything you could possibly want to eat on one plate.
Everything you could possibly want to eat on one plate, I guess. Mac salad.
Yeah.
A couple burgers.
Was Don and Bob still open when you were there?
Yeah.
On Whitten Road?
What road?
Got it.
Whitten Road, out in
My
Brighton.
granddaughter's 20 months old.
You got
goes
that,
to a
right.
Jewish music
City
class.
Group.
That's great you
At
knew.
the J
Is
on
Hop
Wednesday.
Shaken Chinese restaurant still there near the East
Wonderful.
Theater?
With all these little toddlers.
Is it really? Wow.
Doing Hina Matov,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Which one are we doing?
Let's do Osir Shalom.
You're almost a Lonsman to me.
Oh, Hina Matov, you think?
Did you garbage?
Oh, Hina Matov would be more joyous. Do you want more of a, like a dark brooding song or
Sure.
or like a light news?
Light. Light.
Always leave on an upbeat.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay.
Close together though. Come near us.
I got you.
Okay, there.
Say that again.
Hey, Ron.
An older one? Yes.
Was it what's the Irish thing we used to do?
Yeah,
That was the drum, yeah.
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 So sing along with us because
that
you
one
obviously
is,
know all the words.
it's-
All right, Aaron, let's start.
It's not really bluegrassy, so
We're live streaming, thanks. We're live
I
streaming.
like that one.
All right, feet in my toes.
We're good.
All right, 2. Wait.
I'll let you drop. I'm gonna stay.
Once you start, you know.
I want to make sure you're in the picture.
Okay.
It's too far.
3, 4.
Sing along. We come from a tale told long ago, passed on by the waves and the wind. We've made it this far together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters, let's sing. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad. Do it again. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad.
Come gather round and hear the song. If you're the wandering kind, you can make it long, just so you know that we leave no one behind. Our mothers and fathers weather the storms, we're strong in the trials of their times. So we brothers and sisters, we door by door, carry on with this song in our lives. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad. Hine mato, umanai, shebedahi gam yachad. We'll sing out
Wonderful.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming.
Wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming.
We'll see you
Wow.
tonight.
Yeah, even better. You'll hear all these?
And I'm
Yeah,
happy
right.
to.
Good.
I'll be singing along with you.
Yeah, awesome.
Soon, guys.